You guys got any interest in discussing John Cena's recent comments on Vince?
What do you say? I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. So Cena was on Howard Stern yesterday. This is kind
What's
of
he really?
Yeah. This was yesterday. So it says here, during an appearance on the Howard Stern show, the allegations against Vince came up with Stern referring to them as hot water. Cena was asked to describe how he was handling it after Stern noticed it was complicated. John Cena said, I don't think it's complicated to talk about. I think it's complicated to listen to. That's kind of why I don't necessarily put a lot of time and equity into it. Again, there's still a long ways to go. I can say this. I'm a big advocate of love and friendship and honesty and communication. But in the same breath, I'm also a big advocate of accountability. I think you explained it well. If someone's behavior lies so far outside your value system that the balance shifts of like, man, I can't operate in a world where this works. That's the end result of being accountable. Right now, what I'm going to do is love the person I love, be their friend. And by that, it means like, hey, I love you. You got a hill to climb. And he also said, there's the saying, if you don't know who your friends are until the fan of your back's against the wall. That doesn't make any of what's going on easier to swallow, but I'm just telling somebody, I love you, man. This is going to be a hill to climb. We're going to see what happens, and that's that. It sounds so cliche, but it has to be one day at a time. But at the same token, I've openly said, I love the guy. I've got a great relationship with the guy, so that's that.
He got a lot of heat from that, too.
Yeah, critical. I mean, what do you think? Why would he be criticized for that?
I mean, because there's people out there that will criticize anybody that shows anything other than disdain for Vince McMahon. Am I right?
Right.
Like,
yeah, it's almost like what happened with us. And I never really heard you talk about this too much, or maybe we have, and I forgot. It was almost like the Chris Benoit thing. You know, everybody wanted us to bury him, but all we ever saw was a professional, nice guy, very quiet, that we never thought would do this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
the guy that did it was not the guy that we knew.
Right.
You know?
Like,
yeah.
If we would have said, pick, 10 guys in the dressing room you think could have done this, he wouldn't have been in that top 10.
Right. It's like you that moment in his life that ended his life, and it's like, if you look at that little small window, but then you take like the 5-6 years that we knew the guy, like spending time with him, that you're supposed to erase all that and your memories of the guy to just like amplify on that. And we're just in the puzzle going, like, I just can't believe that he did that. That's not the guy we knew.
Yeah, and he had a great relationship with Vince, made a lot of money with him, Vince, and he had a level of what would be the
respect, a mutual respect.
No,
I can't pretend that our times that we shared with the guy weren't good.
Right.
You know, what are you supposed to do? Say, oh, no, well, they can't be times we shared that were pleasant times now because of this happened.
Right, and he was one of the few wrestlers that had easy access to him, you know?
Right.
And he probably knows deep down inside, because a lot of people have heard of stuff he was doing in the company. This isn't new. Right. And it probably hurts him, and I like that. I like to hear them ask him the same question if something does come out that he's guilty. See what he says.
Here's another little bit where he answers a question, kind of like, will you continue to be affiliated with WWE? He says, I think my construct of, he has a lot of therapy talk. Like, this is a lot of PR stuff. He says, I think my construct of trying to operate with honesty and communication, I think those are strong leads to handling any problem or any achievement. But the whole thing is super, super unfortunate. That's really the thing that sucks, because not only does it deal with an individual who I love, it deals with an entity that I love, and it's one that I speak highly of. I want everyone to have the experience I had. If you're an employee at Disneyland, you want everyone to go to Disney and think it's the greatest place on earth. And when someone doesn't, when you find out that there may or may not have been things going on there, that's the place I was speaking so great about. Well, in some aspects, it needed a lot of work. That's more than just how do I feel about this person. Now I shift to, okay, am I doing all I can to make it better? From the advice of work as hard as you can and promote as hard as you can, is there anything I can do? So not only do I tell my friend I love them, I also switch to the entity and I say, how can I help?
Okay, so good PR talk, but at the end of the day, why would he stop working for them? Vince doesn't work there anymore. What does that have to do with him? That's not number one. There was another thing I wanted to bring up. And number two, bro, we've heard stuff back in the day from ring boys and stuff like that was true, and he still worked there. Nobody's going to stop working there because somebody's having relationships with, that he has nothing to do with.
I'm going to agree on that. So
that's a snowflake community to me.
Exactly.